This stop is 5th Street and Amazon Fulfillment Center. Next stop, Chelsea Avenue and Bloomfield Avenue. This stop is Chelsea Avenue and Bloomfield Avenue. Next stop, Forest Avenue and Goethals Road North. This stop is Forest Avenue and Goethals Road North. Next stop, Forest Avenue and United Artists Theatre. This stop is Forest Avenue and United Artists Theatre. Next stop, Forest Avenue and Lilac Court. This stop is Forest Avenue and Lilac Court. Next stop, South Avenue and Forest Avenue. Transfers available to S46, S48, S96 Limited and Sim 33C. This stop is South Avenue and Forest Avenue. Next stop, South Avenue and Netherland Avenue. This stop is South Avenue and Netherland Avenue. Next stop, South Avenue and Brabant Street. This stop is South Avenue and Brabant Street. Next stop, South Avenue and Arlington Place. This stop is South Avenue and Arlington Place. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and South Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and South Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Post Lane. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Post Lane. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Andros Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Andros Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Harbor Road. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Harbor Road. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Union Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Union Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Van Pelt Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Van Pelt Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Simonson Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Simonson Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Houseman Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Houseman Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Granite Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Granite Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Morningstar Road. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Morningstar Road. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and John Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and John Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Nicholas Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Nicholas Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Sharp Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Sharp Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Faber Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Faber Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Maple Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Maple Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Park Avenue. Transfers available to S53, S57, S59 and S66. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Park Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Heberton Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Heberton Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Jewett Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Jewett Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Rector Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Rector Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Bodine Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Bodine Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Taylor Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Taylor Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Alaska Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Alaska Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Tompkins Court. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Tompkins Court. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Broadway. Transfer available to S54. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Broadway. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and North Burger Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and North Burger Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Beamont Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Beamont Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Davis Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Davis Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Bard Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Bard Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Sung Harbor Road East. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Sung Harbor Road East. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Sailors Sung Harbor Gate. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Sailors Sung Harbor Gate. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Clinton Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Clinton Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Lafayette Avenue. Transfer available to S44. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Lafayette Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Franklin Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Franklin Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Jersey Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Jersey Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Westervelt Avenue. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Westervelt Avenue. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and St. Peter's Place. This stop is Richmond Terrace and St. Peter's Place. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Nicholas Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Nicholas Street. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Stuyvesant Place. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Stuyvesant Place. Next stop, Richmond Terrace and Schuyler Street. This stop is Richmond Terrace and Schuyler Street. Next stop, St. George Ferry Ramp D. Transfers available to Staten Island Ferry, Staten Island Railway, S42, S46, S48, S51, S52, S61, S62, S66, S74, S76, S78, S81 Limited, S84 Limited, S86 Limited, S91 Limited, S92 Limited, S94 Limited, S96 Limited and S98 Limited. This is the last stop. This stop is St. George Ferry Ramp D. This is S40 to St. George Ferry. A fare is required to ride.